I often say that, if you know why you're doing something, you'll figure out how to do it. Okay, so if you know the why, the how will figure itself out. It's so important that you know why you're doing anything. Anything in life that you ever do, anything in life that's worth anything, is always going to take effort to achieve, and you're always going to have an ongoing roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Hey, I got great success today. Oh, that guy canceled. Oh, there was an appointment. I landed the biggest deal ever. No, he canceled. And that's just welcome to business, welcome to life. That's just how it goes, up and down, up and down. If you can know what your why is, what your reason for doing something is, and it's compelling and it's in your heart, if you have that in you and you're thinking about that all the time, you'll figure out the how, and you'll get through all the crappy days you're going to have, because you're going to have some great days here at Signature Home Buyers, and you're going to have some crappy days. You're going to have sometimes a few weeks where nothing closes, and you're going to have weeks where you have tremendous prosperity and a lot of deals close. We've had people around here earn nothing for 3 weeks and then earn $15,000 the next 3 weeks. So that can happen. It's just the way things go in life. And so I want to tell you that a foundational piece to you being successful as a new consultant for us, a property consultant, is to know your why. I want you to write it down. I want you to really take time to think about it. Even after this training is over, turn it off and think about it and write down what your why is. You want to post that. You want to have that in front of you. For me, it's my family. That's a big part of why I do what I do. I have a lot of other reasons that I do, but the number one is for my family, to take care and provide financial security for my family and to leave a legacy. We want to build this company so that if they choose that they want to be a part of it later on, they can be, but they can look and say, wow, look what mom and dad did. They built something pretty great for us. So that's a big part of it. And I want them to have opportunities that maybe I didn't have. We were not brought up rich at all. We didn't have any money at all growing up, actually. So we really want for our children to be able to have opportunities and be able to do things. What if my son Cruz, he's a baby now, but what if my son just, decides he wants to be an NBA player, and he starts to show some talent, and he's actually pretty good, and we decide that we want to send him off to a special camp, but that camp costs $10,000 for 2 weeks. What if I couldn't afford it? Do I want to look at my son and say, you know what? I'm sorry, son, you can't go to camp. Now, really what the reason is? Because your dad was just too lazy to do what he had to do. I didn't want to make that phone call. I didn't want to go through my fear and make that, knock on that door or close that deal or do something that was uncomfortable. I didn't want to do that stuff. So guess what, son? You can't do anything special because you know what? I didn't have the courage to go do that. I'm not going to have that conversation. What if my daughter says, hey, Dad, I got accepted into Juilliard. Okay, great. What's the tuition there? Wow. Okay, the tuition is, $75,000 a year. Hey, you know what? I know you're very talented as a pianist, but you can't go. You know why? Because your dad was just too lazy and didn't do what he had to do to become the best version of himself he could be. I don't know about you, but if you have kids, but I'm not going to look at my children and tell them they can't have certain things because I didn't do my job. Because I didn't go after what I wanted to go after in life. And, it may not be that it sounds exactly like that. It may sound when you say to your kids, we just don't have the money right now, son. My daughter, we just don't have the money. Well, if you look really deep down, it's probably if you're in sales because you didn't do what you had to do to become successful, whether it be, work harder, make the extra phone call, stay later, whatever it might be. If your why is strong enough, you'll do whatever you have to do to become successful. And I encourage you, I can't make you do anything, but I really encourage you, if you want to be successful, start right now and write down why you want to be a property consultant, but what's the outcome of that? What is the outcome? What's the long-term goal a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself financially, the money that you make here, what can you do with it, and what kind of life does that look like for you? I hope that you take this part seriously. It really is one of the most important pieces. We're going to teach you all the hows and all the ways to fill out contracts and negotiate deals and all these little things you're going to do. And it's so important to know the mechanics. But if you don't have it here, if you don't have it in your heart, so what, right? If you don't have it in your heart, you're not going to be nearly as successful as you could be. So I'm going to strongly encourage you to write that why down. All right? So that's it for the why. Please stop the video here and write that down. And let's get that drilled in you so that you can make it through the tough days and be one of our top superstars here.